They're gonna be gone soon. Okay. Oh, I see. I see a constellation. Capricornus constellation. I'm zooming like. Well, let me go back and see. Yeah, you are standing behind your physical body right now, and you're pointing up and going like, tell me, hey, yeah, look up. I'm gonna show you. So that's you. It's nobody's masquerading for you. I touched you. Yeah, I see Jupiter. I see Capricorn's constellation. I see some reptilians. And I see some alien race that feels like they are in alliance with reptilians. And I see a fighting going on. I see you in this golden type body, a golden light body. You have some suit on. And when you touch it, there's like a label on the left arm, like here. You touch it, it's like a patch. And you become transparent. Like I don't see you anymore. And I see you zooming, like you're jumping. There's 2 or 3 of you going to spacecraft, just like rhombical kind of spacecraft. But then they kind of change shape into oval, flat oval, dark color. And then it's like bright white light coming all around at the bottom of the spaceship and in the middle. And you're fighting with, it's a frequency war. It's the wave type of technology that I see the waves and it's shooting it. It goes to the specific location that you see on the screen where those reptilian spaceships are. And it kind of locks onto the frequency of the ship and it goes directly there. It's like zaps it with some bright yellow plasma, or and then plasma paired with the wave of some frequency. It's hard to, it's like a light, looks like light wave. Interesting technology because it's like double kind of like opening in the spaceships from those like rhombical, and then on the sides and in front, and they shoot all together. They pair up. So basically the plasma is going from the front and the different waves frequencies go and connect with plasma and find the ship that was supposed to hit. And that's, they're trying to take over Jupiter, as I understand. So your race, I get some names like Al-Maluk, like Al-Maluk race. That's what you said. You're tall, kind of like goldish light bodies. 6th dimension, which you actually lowered your frequencies to go into the 3rd dimension, and the 3rd dimensional layer of the planet was being attacked by Al. They say it's so funny, Al-Kabata, like this. Those are reptilian kind of beings. That is weird because they can also shapeshift into humanoid form, and they don't hold it for long, but they can hold it. When they go to certain planets, they can hold their humanoid form. to deceive those whom they want to deceive or take over. They tried to do all kinds of tricks with you, but nothing worked to figure them out. So they stormed into, I get the number like 2.6 million years ago that it happened. And you lost the battle with them. Alamaluk race, STHC 163. That's that you say that's kind of like a number sequence that can represent your race. And you lost the battles there. I see your ships going down. Even though you used you're very high in technology, you're unbelievable, because your ships can go transparent. You can go transparent. And I don't see those reptilians doing that with their spaceships. But they did some infiltration with AI technology into the surface of your planet. It's almost like they injected it with black goo and it started going towards the center of the planet. And I see it's getting gloomy, like covered with the layer of that goo spreading out. It's like like cancer cell or something taking over the essence of the planet, making it it's not dead. It's not dead now. They still it's actually doing the same thing that Earth is doing. I see like it's doing this. It's shaking itself out of this what they've done to it, because it wants to go back on its track of evolution. It's been kept like in stasis because they took it over. They created bases inside Jupiter. Jupiter plays some it's there's something about the position that you're telling me that's very significant, and it plays a role. Every planet is positioned the right way to stimulate the progress, evolution, or consciousness growth of each other. And they did something about the repositioning of all the planets in our solar system to to reverse. They couldn't reverse, and then they created. It's like planets were started being in stagnation rather, or like in standby mode, waiting for better times to get out of the chains of those who took over them. They used some strange, weird looking creatures that kind of look like giant, like the worms we have underground. And those are the worms that can create tunnels. And they transported them on in this big spaceship. And I see they taking them out in containers and releasing them. And they also kind of listen to commands. It's just weird. They make tunnels, and that's how they created that base, the military bases, ammunition bases, training facilities, and also there are decks that they use for. It's like you fly into inside, and there's hangar, and that's like their you call it trading center. Like you can trade um humans for technology, human DNA, or all kinds of stuff that we know they trade. Mostly DNA that is most precious, or they would use that. Even see them trading containers of male, female, um, energy bodies inside the physical bodies of the different star races, but they need a male and female to recreate the race, or and then they would mutate it or whatever, they genetically modify it. It's offspring, so whoever they create, their babies, or they sell adrenochrome too. So what basically happened to you, there was a huge portal system opening. I see it's like a pipe that you spread out, and it goes from, there are bases. The Jupiter to me right now looks like the rays. The bases are like rectangular. They look like rays of the sun that go all around it. And then there's just this energy circle, like a ring spinning around it. It's powering up the bases and holding them in stable position next to the main headquarters in Jupiter. I keep getting this because you're telling me it's like Jupiter ascending, because all the planets supposed to ascend at the same time, and that Alamaluk, you're the ones who have just been fighting against that Alcabata, very dangerous, you say, reptilian race. They're very aggressive. They've been attacking a lot of um, generations of your own race, and also other races, because all they program to do is to fight and conquer. And they just send you to Earth because a lot of you, I mean, there's like 600 of you that came down as souls. They did they did the split. They split up into equal parts, each of you. Some of you were kept at certain facility. It doesn't even look like a lab. It just looks like a big refrigerator room with lots of shelves from floor to ceiling, with lots of glass containers with, and you say like it felt very weird to be not to be able to get out, because you could move in there, but the glass would prevent you from um, getting out. And you were totally understanding what was going on, but you could not resist. And you saw the your own people, as you call them, who were trapped the same way, and they were putting you in the computer database system, labeling you the same thing according to your abilities, because on Jupiter, your society was that you all had different abilities, and you would pair up in groups to do certain things to help to contribute to the well-being of all and the planet together. And you're good at stability of energy, of growth, and you keep telling me self-healing processes. You know how to do that. You're also good. The technological part, I mean, you also know how it can go wrong with technology, because in your race, it never went wrong, because you've seen other races fail when they advanced in technology and technology took over them. There should be in perfect 50-50 balance, and the consciousness should be You can be using technology. It should not be completely refusing it, but you have to know the limits, and you have to know your own power, that you're always over it and you can always overpower it. You know universal laws and how it works, and how the seesaw of knowledge works, and information goes in and out, and it's forming this perfect symbol of eternity as a horizontal 8. And I feel this like kind of calmness from you, because you say you're also incarnated according to the linear time in the future on Jupiter that is covered with flowers and greenery, and Mars is the same, covered with green bushes, trees, flowers, and everything's back to original self. And you also incarnated there, because after you send yourself to incarnate on Jupiter, you also send yourself to be incarnated on Jupiter after past the layers of deception and spiritual revolution and evolution. And you're showing me like a jar, and you're saying there are different layers of the same universe multiplied basically into eternity, and you can build up a different situation in each hologram of that universe that you created, which that's what we do as engineering process of creating each universal system, which has its own rules and regulations and rules of the game you have to play by. But there's some major ones, which is 7, but there are also some additional ones which belong to different universes. So you got like 5 of those Alcabater reptilian. They're like reptilian humanoids. That's how they look like to me right now. They were hiding in your space like all day around. They spun like a cocoon of energy around you. And I see you like, it's like it starts on the here, and then it goes like counterclockwise. And I see it's like a green light with some, it's almost like tubes. And I see codes with 6 numbers going down, reaching the bottom, going up. I can't understand. What is this thingy? Let me touch it. It's like some drone kind of system. It's like on both sides you have these wheels. It almost looks like beads. When you make a necklace, like those beads, and they are like they're big. They're like or inner tubes, and they're energetic, and they spin around. They're at the bottom of your feet. They make you do some stuff you don't want to do. They make you not believe in yourself sometimes. They used to have more influence on you, that you would go where you're not. It's like against your will, because I see some faces telling you to do something and you felt like, no, I don't want to do it, but you would still do it, and you would then hate yourself for doing it. And that's early on. 163. It's an interesting thing that I keep seeing that encoding of your race. And he has this number 163. And I also see 163 lives here that they did it. It's like they put a stamp on you or something, like a seal, and it looks like a round seal that they would put on the package like old times, kind of like a brown clay or something. And I see 163. And you also made those reptilians small. You put them in this round glass bowl as a container, and you ask their boss to come. You just read all this information off of me. And he brought this Book of Lives, and he has a seal with 163. Strat. CT. Huh. RAT. And I see like there's been a few times, I see 4 times they would take your DNA. They wanted to create army of hybrids based on your species. And they've been doing it to all 600 of you who like perished into this hole, or it's like a black hole, but it's a huge portal that they used to suck you in. Basically, they can move black holes to different locations too. They use them as portals because they converted your energy. They condensed your energy after the split, because you would still not feed into the body. And they kind of spread it out through the layers. They even used your energy for creating the one of the it's like here's the how I see it. It's like there are layers and layers and layers of this energetic dome over Earth, but there's also multiple domes over countries. They did it on purpose because they were fighting and continuously fight over who owns what country. And that's why each country has a flag and all this kind of like labels, seals, and some of them have tigers like felinoids, others draconians or dragons on them, and things like that. Like you can tell by that, by the symbology they use. And they used partially your consciousness, like 12% of it, to create the dome over actually um like a continent of North America. But they shifted every life you have, because you had a life on Madagascar, and you had a life on Madagascar in like very ancient old times. When I see this reptilians mining something there, they have these huge devices. They make this they burn up holes in the ground, and it's like the holes are huge and they go deep into the ground, and they're just I see them um, extracting some like liquid gold something from the underground. It looks like liquid gold, and they put it in spherical containers, and they take it on their spaceships. And you were there, incarnated there also, because they needed it's like they needed you on that timeline for energy production, for using for their devices, for the very devices that they used to mine gold. Why were they mining gold? The frequency of gold, it's all about the frequency. It can be used for very good, can be used for very bad. They turn it for the bad usage here. If you associate it with something bad, like the money egregor that's they associated here, you can turn it into negative machine, siphoning negative energy, producing negative energy, and actually even converting positive into negative and using it for system control. Something like this. Because when they were doing that, I see humans very different. Like powerful, tall. They try to genetically manipulate, but we're doing it carefully and slowly because they weren't they weren't very successful. They're not good geneticists. Then they hired. I see like they hired. Who showed up here is first the mantis, the ones that are like beige kind of cream skinned ones, the dark green ones. And then those worked for them. They start working for them. They're good in scientific research and genetics, but also they got some humanoids working on Andromeda Sirius, other star systems. Arcturus. Arcturus more about technology and spaceships, though, that you're saying. So you're holding this book. It has an interesting lock. You touch the lock, it shines blue, and it falls apart when you touch it, because it's a true sign the book belongs to you. Nobody else can open it but you. And you go through pages. It has a very interesting encoding there. It has some letters, but they're more like old kind of Latin letters. It's like O's with funny tails on top. Also some numbers that looked very different from the numbers we use. And there is a lot of like corner flags, but the opposite way. Just totally different everything. But yeah, they basically created this endless circle of lives that, according to the timelines that you would create within the timelines that they created for you, and the major points and the exit points, that you would modify them by your actions, it would automatically recreate the timeline in a book with different ideas and outcomes. It was like this book is like a miniature computer or something, a recorder of all your actions and thoughts and everything. And it's connected to you through your head. Your head has this thing. It's like a device that goes like 1, 2 straight. And then in the middle there's a big cord and goes down. As usual, I see it in the spinal cord all the way down to the tailbone, fixated there. And it's like a guitar kind of string that there's this thing that you can turn. You can make it uh, more straight and intense, and that intensity would produce more intense um, bodily sensations. It can actually control a lot of things. It can control hormones, it can control immune system, it can control perceptions through that thing in front. The interface of the reality can be flipped and not understood. People who come in contact with you might depending on their own perception, might you might not understand why they somehow treat you like this or tell you these things or things like that, because they just don't, they take you for something else that you are, because of that device. It's like a projection of false identity that came to me um, from that thingy. There's a plate in the chest, plate in the lower stomach. Probably was giving you like pains down there. It's like the rectangular long plates, and they're also connected. And then I just see just a division, just kind of like little straight energy loops that looping like this, which is like a false overlaid chakra system, goes all the way up and above your head. And they could just come up, plug in into you. They can do it any way they want, through their hands, through their mind, even by their tail, touching the certain points of your energy sphere. They don't even have to come inside to get your energy out. Yeah, about 50% I would take, depending on how much they need it and how much they could make you produce emotions by powering up hormones at the right moment or time, or but you took control over this with time. The funny thing is, like, I see you taking out implants at night by yourself, especially the one in front, because it's like you felt very frustrated with it because you feel the heavy head sensation. That's what I get, like, from your subconscious, that you're energetically, you feel it, something's not right, and you would take it out and they would put it back in. And it's like you couldn't understand how to completely get rid of it, and it's because the only thing that was holding you to have them is your book, that book that you had to destroy. You're just putting, you're making this, you're just like building out of your imagination your ability to create the perfect fireplace with flowers around and just looks pretty, brown brick. You put the book in there and you create like a fluffy chair, sit on it and push it around with that stick to make it burn up. And then you're saying, how about I create a trampoline and I jump up and down? And while I'm jumping, I program myself for raising my vibration with the jump, and all the technology, all the devices that don't belong to me would just pop out of me, because my own frequency and vibration will push them out. That's your creation. You imagined it, you created it. I see you on the trampoline. It's a bright blue color. And you jumped up. And it's like the whole thing just like falling off of you. Funny thing, I saw like some sort of skirt that was fixated on your belly button, around like a belt, fell off of you with some metallic plates. It's almost like bargans, or how do you call them in English? Tribal people wear something like this, like a skirt, like in Hawaii or something. It just fell down also. It was supposed to hold you down, make you heavy in your thoughts, and your making things come true for you, like putting them into motion, into action. That's what it was holding you. It's like a bell, a heavy one around your waist. So you're just like putting all these things together, forming a big ball of that stuff. Put it into a net and just put it in the same fireplace first, and melt it into some puddle of metal, bright orange puddle. You open the door portal and you just pushed it all out. You're asking them, do you have, if you have any clones, and the number 6 popped up. Let me see what those clones are used. Slave horse, Jupiter. Building spacecraft, technology. Also energy healing. Energy healing that is put into machines that they use. The machines almost look like those med beds type thing. But the energy that they use for them to revive their own warriors in different battles and missions, they use your energy for it, as well as energy of others who happen to be either healers on different galaxies or healers on Earth, but they're not still connected, I guess. So there's 6 of them. So 3 of them, yeah, it's like they're doing some job of, pushing some containers and into the spaceships, some computer stuff sometimes, and some of this lab work. Like it's mostly like running on a program to put a body of a warrior into the that just a big capsule, and the flat surface that you lay the body on, it you push it in, and with your consciousness you activate certain mode of it, and you fire it up with your energy. I think you have moments probably in your days, throughout your day, when you feel like depleted of energy, and that's when you work with the machine, because since all the parts of you fragments that are using the clones are connected to your physical incarnation and the energy, of your essence inside the physical body, it can draw energy back and forth like a tug of war, constant, and then it's just like release or pull and release, and then you can replenish the energy. So you put like a big, it just in the air with your mind. 6, you cross it with red ink, and then you say, I disconnect from those. I don't let them be used. I want myself in higher realms to pull all those essence fragments from those clones. I don't see any hybrids. They were selling your DNA. They were taking it by selling it. I don't see any hybrids created. It's kind of like a frozen process for some reason. They were saving it for something, obviously, some other realities or some other something they were gonna create, but they were stopped. Something stopped them, and I think your inner knowledge right now is the process of evil is stopped, and you like know it deep down, because they never managed to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. So you just went back, retrieved those DNA samples. It just pops up four times, and they took it, so they don't exist anymore. the war, them taking you, you eliminated that. You decided not to participate it and go on a higher density level, and you instructed everybody how they use different type of technology, radar system, and configuration of the spaceships that they put in particular mode, that they shoot through empty space. Even if they don't see you, they would still get you. You shared how they do it with others so they would not get caught, all those 600 ones. And you're just going through your lives, as I see, to cleanse the timelines. Your subconscious showed me one time, one life that you drowned as a little child, 5-year-old girl. And it looks like some swampy area. And I see the crocodile getting you. It looks like Australia or something. Yeah. And then there's another life where you stepped on a snake. I see a lot of accidents and stuff like that. Things like fire, being burned up, falling out of the window, things like that. It's just like as I look at the timelines, it pops up like a lot of accidents that they created for you because they knew that you're a powerful soul, and then they would want you to die in this vibration of kind of like the shock and fear, and that fear is accumulated in your emotional body. It's I see like your emotional body with like black dots all over the place. They're different shapes. You take something like you create the thing that you eliminate those bubbles on the sweaters. I don't know what it's called, and you're just like going through it. Just and I see it's turning black. It's like absorbing the black dots from all those lives, all those emotions that you kept in your emotional body, and you kind of block them. So they do exist at the very low. It's like they're bottled up. Um, as some situations from childhood, you're going back in your timeline to change those too. Deception, deception, and also frustration with things, with situations, with people, with friends, with it's like being used or something like this. All those feelings brought from there because you're cleansing your mental body right now. You cannot like you couldn't understand from an early age why people behave certain ways, and you were interested in human psychology at your subconscious level because it's hard to figure out all the layers. You call them layers of deception that are put into us and programmed into us. And that's why you're always on a search for clean, transparent people, genuine people. You're connecting to your. Do you hear this noise? I wonder if you hear it. I got this. And when I heard this, you're sending like a signal to your people, as you call them. I mean, you live in it's like a family, but it's not a family. Everybody is responsible for his own self. Children you produce are you energetically combine energies, and here's a child created quickly and grows fast. And a different Yeah, I see like different timelines of Jupiter. It's interesting because some of you look almost exactly like humans, very much. And then I see Mars immediately, and Mars people look like humans also. So it's like the whole solar system is, I get a feeling we all used to, it's like they combined the DNA taken from from different planets of solar system, mostly combine it with other races, and that's how they got what we got here. But yeah, that sounds stopped. It's like you said, you actually know how to send frequency waves, and probably happens a lot to you when you think of somebody. The person writes to you or calls you or whatever, I don't know. Because you are, it's like a very powerful one. I heard like, I don't know if it's gonna be heard in the recording, but so you cleanse that and this. DNA 202 strands split up in transparent white, transparent blue, and the golden in the middle, and the whole thing is spinning. Making when it starts spinning, when it's kind of like I can stop it, and then I can. It's like energy. DNA is really energy condensed, um, frequency and energy that contains information of all the experiences in certain universe, in every universe. And I mean, it's just like a beautiful thing to see. Oh, I see. The reason why that blue wasn't yours, it was put by those Alcabata beings. You completely like, you did this with your hand, it got erased and became the same transparent white like on the left, it's on the right also. So there's no, and then there's golden, but the golden is like the reflection of your essence. But there are also different races on Jupiter. It's kind of interesting. I get that there are three different ones. Different skin color in 3D, or different energetic makeup. Kind of interesting. So yeah, that's done with all this cleansing. And then you say da 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 da, opening the big portal and pushing this glass ball of whatever it is you created, like a, with all those reptilian humanoids into the portal. Same back to where they belong. Yeah. So they went. So everything's clean. Just standing there saying, "Oh, I can create anything I want." And you start clicking your fingers and creating like flowers, and but they're different shaped. It's how the original Jupiter looked. Not like this, not like what we know. It's totally different. It's got a lot of yellow flowers like lilies on it. You're just like expanding your energy sphere and creating, it's like botanical garden or something to make it smell good. Yeah, you can ask me any questions.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Can I bring down the dome?
Not by yourself.
Hmm.
It depends on the consciousness level on Earth, the percentage. Right now, there are 43% of people awake. So we need to get over 50, 51, let's say. Um, We already broke a lot of it. I mean, there's huge holes like Swiss cheese or something, as I see. And also, when you zoom through it, those who are awake and aware and consciously doing it, they burn the holes through. And there's nothing can hold us if we are conscious. And whatever knowledge we acquire during the lifetime, we carry it after losing the physical body, and you are free. The minute you know you're free, nobody can influence you, nobody can. It's like you're untouchable, you're like fire, you're like a comet that is too hot to touch, and you can zoom past by any dome, anything. But it's dome belongs to the matrix level we're on right now. The matrix level is being melted and burnt up and disintegrated. The dome is doing the same. So it's like a system inside the system, and all the systems are connected, and there are layers and layers and layers, and we're thinning out the layers. That's why there is a lot of days when people feel anxious and or sad or things like that, because a lot of portals are opening, and we're pushing, and the earth is pushing, the other beings are pushing negative entities out. And once when they're going out, sometimes they create this, it's like a field of vibration that is negative, so you feel kind of this negativity, and you don't understand why you feel sad, or like, not your emotions. It's because we're doing a lot of energy work, and we're the ones who are powering and opening the portals, and closing them up and cleansing them. And it takes a lot of, and also it includes emotions too. So sometimes, that's why in the dream state, it's like we go through crazy dreams. A lot of people these days have crazy dreams. It's because we go to different realities and change the timelines. And it's like all the timelines become transparent. You can be on this timeline doing this, but you also see the other timeline, and the people in your family or your friends doing the totally opposite thing. It's kind of like what's happening. Um, yeah, you can't. It's like everybody. It's a co-creation, because and they deceived a lot of people to siphon the energy from them to create the dome. So, and those people have to come to the same conclusion and understanding that you came to, in order to unite in one thought and to uncreate it. You know.
Mm.
Once we disconnect from it all, it's gonna collapse. That's it. It's just gonna evaporate.
Well, the Earth that we see is not nearly what is here. Is that right? There's a
Yeah.
lot more land and ocean than we know of.
It's a huge land, looks like a bean to me. Looks like a huge beanie thingy. And I see less, literally like, like animals like cows or horses, and they put like them inside, and then they build like a big fence around.
Mm.
That's how like I see where we are at, inside the fenced area. And around us is like beautiful place, all clean and high vibrational, and colors are different. Everything is like, yeah, and they're supporting this layer with technology. And technology is powered by us being asleep, those who are still. And we have to keep ourselves clean for for just take it, basically turn off the technology they're using. If they don't get fuel from us, that's it, they cannot work it anymore.
Will I be able to see the rest of the Earth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's gonna be your decision. That's why you came to liberate yourself, and that's why you've been searching, waiting for this moment to do it. because from now on, nobody's influencing, nobody's writing when you're gonna exit the body. You're gonna be the one to decide when to do it. Yeah, it's like the breaking moment right now. It's just subconscious is saying it's like the peak. We reached the peak, and from that peak of the mountain, you'll be able to see everything.
When when did the reptilians get a hold of me?
When when you were defeated on your spacecraft, fighting with them, as I understand, Jupiter lost a war with reptilians in that timeline that you were, and that's how they got hooked up to you, and all this stuff started.
Was that like a long time ago?
Oh yeah, I mean,
It was before my 202 lives.
I see like 2.6 million years ago. That's what I see. But you know, time is also kind of funky.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's when I see it happened.
Wow.
I think I saw it before, didn't I? Because this number just popped up and I felt like I saw it before, but
Saw what before?
no, the number like when they took when it happened,
Mm.
the war with them and all this. Yeah. Hmm.
Um, I'm very thin and I've never been able to put on any weight. I feel like my metabolism goes so fast that I can't even put on a pound. And I'm wondering, is that going to change now because they're not draining my energy?
Yeah, because they were running technology at their facilities on you, like constant energy taken out. Like I told you, remember, was
Yeah.
that it's just like those clones were taking all of your, each clones were taking about, yeah, like 15% of your energy.
Wow.
Yeah, around 15. I mean, it depends. It depends. It fluctuates. That's how I always see. You know, you can drain this much of the today and that, depending on your ability and your physical, like, you know, when you're sick, let's say like a cold or something, they could not drain as much because your body also takes to recover, things like that. But yeah, they were draining you big time for sure.
I've been so tired
Mm-hmm.
all the
Yeah,
time.
like yeah, when your clones were working at that facility with those, I don't know how to call those devices, look like yeah, not like I called them med beds before, but no, that's something rejuvenation, restructuring of the energy body type technology, that they would be powered by your energy. And twice throughout your life it's been like this.
Um, is my pineal gland open?
Yeah, because you took off that device off of your forehead on top,
Yeah.
the back. All those things when you jumped on trampoline came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, can I ask now about my children?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, my firstborn, Joseph, what happened to him?
Yeah, I see him. I see the body first. I see the flattened out, like body is sucked out and eaten out from inside or something. And it looks like, you know, like a flat. like pressed, like almost like you put some weight on it, make it flat and immobile, something just weird. I see some snake was, oh, it's like a metal snake with bright blue eyes, piercing eyes came through, vicious looking, was a little horn on the front. That's the one. It's like this snake pushed some. It's like the snake pushes you away, and because those draconians wanted to take over him through you, but the snake was more powerful and it pushed you and them away and took over him. And he's like laying flat right now in some sort of space. It's very dark. I just don't even see anything.
Well, he took his life.
Yeah, because that's where he's like in some sort of darkness, and that snake is like guarding him. And it has his body is has projections of different. It's like holographic projections, and it goes down, down, down. It's in green color, and it uses it to send them to different realities to connect and to somehow through the holographic projection of him that can change and gets powered by his soul, take over more souls, something like this. But yeah, the reason why is because he was totally taken over by that AI technology. I see like a big machine in our universe to the right. It's almost like produces and spits out different forms of AI technology like that snake that then self-replicates itself and hooks up parasitically like a parasite on human souls. It's something about to support the production of AI. You come there, I see you put him on some, you created some kind of like a sheet of, like a bed sheet, but no, it's more like a blanket, but the blanket is all golden, made out of your golden light. And it's supposed to activate, give him energy and activate him with high frequency. And I see him opening his eyes. I think he was asleep. He was asleep throughout everything in his life. It's like he was just totally programmed by that creature. Because you're asking and he doesn't even recognize you. But you tell him that you show him like a screen was how it all happened, and he's trying to remember. And he said he ran on a program he doesn't remember. It was done on purpose to keep him in this coma kind of state, and he was dictated things to do, how to do it. He said that he's ready to go to his green planet. It's a green rock planet, he calls it. 32 S. Arctur system. Looks like a green energetic planet that he came from. And I don't see anybody living there. I just see like lots of greenery. And he was part of that greenery. when he incarnated. He wanted to try to be human, but he was taken over by AI. So he's on that planet now. I see him. I see like a funky kind of tree with a very short, like what do you call that thing? The base, right? Or the trunk, and then on top it's like the green, but then there's like things sticking out of it, and those things are just like receptors to read information, and they whenever they kind of like point, they can read information from this or that star system, things like that. Kind of interesting. It's like information, like a database of that particular corner of the galaxy, and that like a live biological computer type thing he's part of.
He's a tree.
Yeah, he's a tree. He's
So he's not trapped anymore.
he's not stuck anymore now.
Because
Snake is.
when he actually died and quit breathing, even with the ventilator, I called Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel to come and get him and take him home. But I guess that didn't happen.
No, what happened is those showed up, and the snake is so powerful. This AI technology is crazy powerful, and they just like, and those archangels, they were reptilian beings. So, but they showed up as archangels because they can shapeshift into any form they want. And I see the snake pushing them into some, just like pushing them into like a black hole type thing, and they left. So, but if they took him, he would be just owned by reptilians,
Mm-hmm.
because those archonic angels, they kind of give you a hint. Archangels, why is that they're not angels but archonic angels? Because they are archonic from archons.
Mm.
But that's how they give you hints, and if you don't get the hint, that you get into the trap of using them.
Mm.
So
But there really are good angels.
they're angelic looking beings in other galaxies. They used to be here before. I see them left. I see they left. They observe the progress happening here, but they left. And they were a very tall humanoid form. They reached some certain consciousness level. They were energetic. Um, but they see how AI works in reptilians and dracos and other beings who want control over others. They always take a good idea from something that we subconsciously deep down remember, and we remember good angelic beings, and build on that knowledge. They distort the knowledge and they use it, and they masquerade for those beings.
Mm-hmm.
So we trust, you know. But we're like children who don't remember anything, so we blindly trust anything, and they use it. They created us that way to make us being full deceived light, and so we just go, we buy it. But
Okay. Matthew was my second child, and then Caitlin, and Joseph greatly traumatized both of them somehow without me knowing. And this is a sexual trauma.
oh yeah, because there's got the big huge dragon behind him, and the dragon is like, it's like spits fire onto other ones. You see the dragon here, he's holding him, and the two of his siblings are here on the knees and like begging, please don't touch us. It's
Mm-hmm.
like a system of control. This dragon is somehow related to the family, but on the husband's side, or
Uh-huh.
their father. The mother, the father, which is your husband, and affected them because the dragon worked through this branch because there's something wrong with the mother of their father. She was like possessed by this dragon.
Oh,
Uh,
the mother of of
of
my
your husband, yeah, like their biological father, yeah.
oh, she was possessed by a dragon.
Yeah. And then he like it's kind of like a family affair type thing. That he picks certain people in the family who can be easily controlled by him
Mm.
because well, he figured out how to mutate human DNA by adding his, and then he could usually easily like walk into the body, enjoy all the slow vibrational feelings, and working through the body of that individual, and he happens to be a son whom he's been using as a suit, as a human suit, for doing some damage to the other ones
Mm.
and getting energy, and he's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And he's not working in a group or anything, he's the only one. He's got this spikes on the sides, looks black, big tail.
Now is he with Matt?
It's a weird thing. It's like he's like mm, he created like a network of people he would take energy from, but your son was the one he was using, and he was sitting inside because he changed 38% of his DNA is from the dragon. So he's very manipulative and very good at masquerading for somebody else that who he's not, type thing, like
Uh-huh.
man of two faces type thing. Because that DNA infusion made him be like that. You can you share like you create like you basically shower them with knowledge. I see like rain goes over their heads, and I see those. I kind of see like the dragon, him, your son, and then another son and a daughter, and they're like in the middle. And I see them kind of standing, getting up from their knees because they're still affected
Mm-hmm.
by that whole system, and they're just it's a created trauma. Through trauma, you can siphon so much energy. You can do
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and they created like a sanctuary with a bench, and they're sitting on the bench. They created this healing sun, as they said, like I see like in front, and it's spinning and shining onto them and making them feel better and cleansing them. I just see a lot of kind of like gooey stuff around them. It's almost like layers of plastic that this dragon put around them, so they would feel constricted in their lives, not be able to move as fast as they want. The
Mm-hmm.
decision making is hard, everything's hard, kind of like stopping obstacles that hard to walk in those layers. So they're just like that sun is burning up the layers and cleansing them at the same time. So I did that. Yeah, I see them happy and they're like hugging each other and
Oh,
they're on the same bench. It's like a kind of old wooden bench. And yeah, they're from different places, but they're warm and sensitive inside. And they're warm and sensitive inside and trusting. Let that dragon do that stuff to them.
mhm.
So,
They
but
don't. They're not taken over by anyone.
I don't see now. I see that it's the same situation. It's like interesting that it's on repeat because those who were with you try to take over them, but you didn't let. At the subconscious level, you said, no, don't touch my children because you consciously agreed to this 163 lives because you knew that was like a prison thing for you because you got captured in the war. But then the whole situation worked behind your back was the dragon because it specifically goes, like I said, picks specific individuals in the family to work through his ways.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's all good there.
Okay. Matt's wife, Jessie.
You mean what are those? There's three figures when you named, but they're kind of far away. You want just one by one?
Um, well, his wife is Jessie, and then my two granddaughters, Faith and Layla.
There's the daughters are in some crystalline structure cocoons in some cave. The wife is so far away. It's like she's not really present in here, like her physical is, but only around 3% of her essence is present, but the rest is used by some alien race for missions. That's what I feel. And the children are as if they were grown in some, oh, they grow clones, but this is more like crystalline structure cocoons that they're growing the children and constantly taking their physical and astral body parameters and checking on them. Because there's something about their development that is different, that they're interested in. It looks like they have some interesting structure. It's a mixture of crystal and energy. Energy is more dense, crystal is more flowy. And they are like, they look like twins to me. I mean, there's like no difference in between them. So obviously from the same place. They're like light blue and dark blue. And it's all like interesting kind of. It looks like their mother is made to, um, she signed them off to do the same missions she's doing and she thinks she's doing a good thing, but she's not. What shows up to me, like I see that race that kind of looks like grays, but they have the purplish gray skin with vicious looking black huge eyes wrapped around the head. And they're the ones who are using her as a messenger. That's what I got. Cosmic messenger. They give her the information. I see the girls though getting out because when you came, you just did this and they trusted you and they got out. It's like you gave them information, they took it, and then they quickly came out. I saw some being with this like funky looking heart shaped head showing up who was watching them, but there's nothing he can do. Got stuck. It's like he can only see the head. He had no power over their will. Disconnected. Burned up the connection with the mother and was that um, gray hybrid. No, it's different. Gray race. Totally different. Um, the mother thinks she's a superhero. That's what I
Mhm.
get from her. She's like can do it all, and they worked on her throughout her childhood and asked her if you want to be a supergirl, things like that. Like I get this from her. She's got charisma. She's not taking the information though.
Mm.
She says she likes to be a messenger. She's a messenger of good and evil at the same time, she says. The good and evil doesn't exist, therefore. You know, it's like this life for her. She's playing like a computer game, but she's really present more in her missions that she really enjoys doing. That's what I get from her. But she's not taking the information. So we cannot force it on her, but you kind of like came close, you put it on the floor, and you laughed. She's not taking it. She's got a special suit on and gray porous, kind of funky looking rubberized latex suit. So, yeah.
Can I blast her with the golden knowledge? Just a wave of it?
You get, well, she'll blast it back to you. That's your free will. Cannot impose your knowledge through your power into anybody. She might consider taking it, but she's one of those, she's very, she's on her mission. She didn't figure this out yet. Her consciousness level, see, for them to take the information, you have to be a certain consciousness level. If
Hmm.
you're not gonna be used, even if she clears herself up, but they would get reattached. They would put all the implants back into her and things like that. You know, that's why it's very important when you come by yourself with your free will and you want to get rid of this stuff and be clean, you know?
Hmm.
And that's why some regressologists just do. It's my conscious mind telling you that some regressologists stop sharing information in the astral because a lot of people then get disappointed that hey, my relative didn't take it, you know, but it's not about that. It's about trying, giving, spreading, but then it's up to them if to use it or not. Maybe she'll use it later, but she does have it, you know.
Absolutely. Okay. So Matt, let me see if I understand now. Matt and Caitlin, they're both clear and free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Faith and Layla, they are free.
Yes. Mm. They're just
Um,
like spinning around. They're active.
yeah. Faith is a diamond child. I mean, she's golden.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, they came as this new generation here. Just a lot of children here who are gonna be different, building different timeline, different world.
Yes. Okay. And I think this would probably be last. How about Bob,
Mhm.
my husband? He's not here anymore.
Yeah, I feel it. Just a very cold feeling. I'm just trying to find him. Just going through space. I see some strange faces. I almost like I'm in some sort of space where the disincarnated are grouped up. And there's the entities and they talk to the entities because I see like it's very kind of cold and swampy type feeling I get. Yeah. See, he's got the collar on his neck and two attachments on the back, and they're all going to that dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So give him the information. He's like said, I'm tired of suffering. He's very, like he's like filled up with some sort of like dirt that is heavy, and he's like all big and just kind of like when you have too much water in your body or something blown up out of proportion or something. That's how I see him, almost like a bubble. Yeah, it's just the negativity, the layer of that. He said that he was trying to dry it up by absorbing it because he wants to help out the earth get rid of this spaces where the souls that is stuck or controlled are. And he just basically he lit up the whole floor of that space. It's like I can't even give you a definition of what it is. It's like a formless bubble without particular shape that these souls are at. I gave them the information and he zoomed out. He's got such funky things he's putting on himself, like stickers, like tattoos or something. And
Tattoos.
yeah, like he's sticking them on his body all over. He says, well, these are the constellations that I travel and go from one to another. I have to visit my friends there. And he put this helmet, like a bike helmet, on himself with a big thing on the back. He says, I am a space traveler. You know how many? There are a lot of us. I see him like a long type body that merges and creates like a big energy body covered with those things. Kind of funny.
Yeah, he's really funny.
He laughed. He said goodbye like this.
Wow. So he's free?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I see all those space travels like that. That's so hysterical. They remind me more of bikers, the bikers who are like obsessed with the high speed and you know going from place to place. He's like he can never sit in one place. He's always moving. That's what I get from him, from his energy.
Yes. He was a thrill seeker.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
why. Yeah, he's zooming by like crazy person. Yeah, he's free.
Wow. Oksana. It's just incredible.
Yeah, you're free too. You probably
Uh,
get like the warm feeling in your chest because I'm getting it from you.
yeah. I mean, my children, I've been so full of worry over my children,
Yeah, I understand.
because I didn't know that Joseph had done that until just like a few years ago.
Mhm.
when I found out.
Yeah. It was drained out and controlled. That's why.
Yeah, well, he really traumatized the two of them bad.
Mm. They should redo the programs on the physical level. They should work on themselves, knowing like when they watch the session, it's all done. They just have to understand that it's all in the past. The door is closed, and can work through anything. I mean, we're amazing beings. We're all God-like creatures with multiple abilities. We just have to understand that. Through understanding, we can start creating what we want and uncreate whatever was created in terms of emotions and mental. We can uncreate it because that's what creators do. We create and uncreate.
But you have to
Okay.
believe it.
Yes. Yeah, you have to put full belief into yourself.
I
Yeah,
don't think
it's a
my daughter's quite there yet. She has a hard time with all of my knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, because they look very young souls too. And but you, in your progress of consciousness, you affect them. You totally do. I see it like it took me 2016. So basically 5 years, and I see a slow progress in my own family also. My three younger children are totally born awake and aware and everything, but they're affecting the other ones who are not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it takes time, but they're gonna get to it because there's a lot of things that are gonna happen now in the world that is just gonna hit you against the brick wall. You'll understand, hey, something's very wrong here. People just don't say the things when it's really happening to them or to their loved ones, and there's gonna be more and more things happening that people would wake up. So, okay, let me turn off the recording.